Namaskar and welcome to the session on basics of milk and milk products. The objective of this session is to reorient ourselves with the milk processing and type of products which are available from the milk. The objectives of this presentation is to cover the dairy profile, about the clean milk production, milk processing, milk products, cleaning and sanitization. I have limited to the structure given in the unit itself is there. So, what is the dairy profile? It is one of the successful story of our country. The first thing is milk. It is a very poised, nutritive and almost complete food is there. And this is one of the largest commodity with 5% share in the economy. We are the largest producers of milk with 220 million metric tons is there, and 24% of global production is by our country. We have the largest bovine population of over 300 million, and this dairy profile is characterized more by production by masses and low in productivity. So, this is one aspect, that is milk is very poised, nutritive and almost a complete food is there, and we are the largest producer with 230 million metric tons there, and around 24% of global production is through our country is there. Then as I mentioned, having a symbiotic relation between agriculture and dairy, and particularly with the sustainable agriculture, its role is becoming more important. It can play an important role in doubling the farmer's income is there. The Operation Flood program changed the scenario of dairy profile in our country. It was the Dr. V. Kurian who started the Operation Flood program, and which is based on the cooperative model, that is a 3-tier cooperative model is there. And it is one of the successful cooperative model for socio-economic transformation, where at the village level we have a society, at the district level we have a union, and at the state level we have a federation is there. So, we have reached to the number 1 in the world for milk production with 230 million metric tons because of this cooperative model. Now, we come to the milk. First thing is, what is milk? As I mentioned, it is a complete and nutritious food from the nature, and it is formed in the mammary glands to sustain the newborn during first months of the life there, because it contains antibodies to safeguard from the infection is there. And we define it also as it is a complex fluid. It looks like a water, but it is a complex fluid containing components which are dispersed there, that is lipid, proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins and minerals, they all are dispersed into there. For a simple understanding, we say total solids in the milk, that milk has water and total solids is there. So, total solids comprises fat and SNF, and SNF mean that is protein, lactose, salt and vitamin is there. So, total solids minus fat becomes the solid not fat is there. The milk has the lot of nutritional virtues, that is we say it is a nature's perfect food is there. It is well balanced and nourishing diet is there. Then it is a vital nutrients of protein, fat, lactose, minerals is there. Then high nutrient density is there. The next virtue is high buffering effect on the stomach. If you have an acidity, so doctors advise you to take a glass of milk is there. Then it is more moving towards, it is more like a health food or functional food is there. See, there is simple things like potassium supports heart health, calcium and phosphorus for the bone and health, magnesium for muscle and nerve function is there. So, these are the virtues of the milk is there. So you can appreciate that milk is a almost complete food because of this. Now, what are the nutritional components? First is the milk protein. It is having an excellent biological properties like a biological value, protein efficiency ratio, amino acid score. So, this is having the milk proteins is of very excellent quality. Then it also have a milk biopeptides which imparts the health benefits is there. So, this is about the protein. Similarly, fat, it is a wide range of fatty acids, around 400 types are there. It is rich in butyric acid, conjugated linoleic acid and unsaturated fatty acids. It is easy to digest and absorb. There are high level of saturated fatty acid, that is rich source of short and medium chain fatty acids are there. The main constituent is lactose, which is unique to milk. It is good for the gut health and the brain development is there. Minerals, as we mentioned earlier in the last slide, they play an important role, and milk is a cocktail of several minerals are there. Vitamins, they are the good source of several vitamins is there. So, we will take into that. So, main constituents are water, fat, protein, casein and whey proteins, lactose, salt, vitamin and enzymes. So, these are the main constituents. In protein, the major constituents are casein and whey proteins. Nowadays trend is to have more of the whey proteins. All the sports people, they take the one or other form of the whey proteins are there. So, these are the main constituents of the milk is there. What is the role of these constituents? They will help us for the growth of our body. They will supply us energy, able to maintain the body, help us to recover from disease, then help in reproduction also. They also provide taste, appetite and palatability. So, these are the role of the milk constituents is there. The milk has a unique taste is there. It is always refreshing, and as I mentioned, if you have problem of acidity, take the chilled milk, it will recover, it will help you. Now, see the composition of milk of different species. As I mentioned, the main component is water. So, you can see cow milk has 87.3%. Buffalo is rich in the total solid. See, water is only 82%. So, that is why I say buffalo milk is quite rich. The total solids are more into this, and the water is less into that. Sheep is also milk is quite rich. Goat milk is more like a cow milk, 87, 86. Human milk is also like a cow milk. That is why sometimes it is said that the cow milk could be given to the babies, newborn babies is there. But see, there is a composition difference is there. In the fat is almost 4.6% into the cow and human milk, goat milk, but buffalo milk has 7.8%. So, it is rich is there. Casein is less in the human milk, 0.4% is there as compared to this. So, this casein is not easily digested by the baby. So, we should, so baby cow, when we give the external milk, we should be very careful in that. Lactose, human milk is quite sweet because of the high lactose is there. Similarly, because the baby's kidneys are not well developed, ash is also less. So, whey proteins are almost common to all 0.7, 0.6 is there. So, this is the composition of the milk is there. So, you can decide which milk you should take, cow milk, buffalo milk. We'll go into the market milk which are available on this subject. Now, what is the nutritive value? So, when you take the 1 glass of milk, 100 gram, it will give you 70 calories. When you take 1 charge buttermilk, it gives you 36 calories. Ice cream 207, butter 716. So, depending upon your calories requirement, you can take the type of milk product is there. So, we will take a review what we have studied in this first portion. We have studied about the milk production status, that we are number 1 is there, and then we also reviewed that dairying and agriculture are complementary, supplementary, or there is a symbiotic relationship is there. It's a milk is a complete and nutritious food from the nature, particularly formed in the mammary glands to sustain the newborn babies is there. So basically it is for their cow calves, but we can use it for the human purpose also. And it has many nutritional virtues, and it contains water, lipid, proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins and minerals. So we have studied that the milk is quite nutritious and a complete food. Now how to have a good quality milk? The first aspect is clean milk production. Now what is clean milk? Clean milk means when the milk is drawn from the healthy animals, collected in a clean dry milking pail, and it is free from the external matters like dirt, dust, flies, hay, manure, and it has a normal flavor with low bacterial count and is safe for human consumption is there. Why it is necessary to have clean milk? Because the milk from the udder is normally sterile. It doesn't have the spoiling microorganisms, and it contains, as we mentioned, protein, lipid, lactose, and they are the ideal medium for the rapid growth of the harmful microorganisms. And it needs to be protected from all the sources of contamination is there. So employment of hygienic practices at the time of milking is important. That is the necessity for the clean milk is there. Now when we say healthy animal, its udder should be healthy and there should not be disease like mastitis. So this looks like a healthy animal is there. Similarly, see the next, free from external matter. So there should not be any dung, hay, dust, or the hair of the animal should not be there. So it should be properly filtered, it should be there. Then it should have a low bacterial count, that is it should be having a minimum bacterial count, and it should be safe for the human consumption. So this is the importance of clean milk. If you have the clean milk, you will get the good quality dairy products, high commercial value, you will get the better money, and you can transport the milk for longer distance, for longer time, and that will give you the good returns will be there. So therefore it is always better to have a clean milk, and in our country the focus is more being given to the clean milk production because we want to export our food products. What is the significance? It is significant to both producers and consumers because it is safe for human consumption, better keeping quality, and then the high commercial value as explained in the last slide, and it also protects against the diseases like typhoid, dysentery, then septic sore throat, and it also helps to produce good quality dairy products, and you can transport over the long distances there. So these are the significance of the is there. Then what are the sources of milk contamination? Basically, if the dirty milking hands, so we should be careful that the milker hand should be clean. Dirty teats and udder can be the second source of contamination. Dirty wiping cloth could be the third thing. Milking environment, if it is dirty, there is a lot of dust is there. Dirty milking pail is also there, udder infection. So these are the sources of contamination could be there. Now what are the factors which affect the clean milk production? We divide into two groups, internal factors, external factors. Internal, that is udder infection is there, and normally the milk contains large number of bacteria. External factor which we can control in large, like a animal body, udder and teeth should be clean, milker should be having hygiene habits, he should wash his hands, method of milking, milking utensils, milk storage utensils, feed and water, and milking environment is there. What should be the steps should be taken for clean milk production? First is the animal management at farm level, feeding properly, housing should be proper, animal health should be maintained. What is the somatic cell count? Then the cleanliness of the milking equipment, hygiene milking practices, and then the cooling. Cooling is very important because it stops the growth of microorganisms is there. Now, there is if we have produced the clean milk and if we are not careful in chilling it, the post milking contamination can spoil the product very easily. To preserve the keeping quality of milk, it should be cooled as soon as possible to a temperature of 4 degrees centigrade. Now, our FFSA guidelines also stipulates that we should lower the temperature within 4 hours, and the bacterial growth is retarded by cooling the milk within 2 hours of milking. So, these are the reasons that we should chill the milk as early as possible, because the bacteria will not be able to grow and the quality will be able to maintain whatever the good quality milk we have collected, that we be able to make it. So, make it a point, and always as a food safety professional, you should check that whether milk is being chilled immediately or not. Now, there are grades, what we call a test known as methylene blue reduction test, MBR time, which gives us indirectly the presence of microorganisms in the milk. If the time taken is 5 hours and above, this milk is very good. If it is less than half hour, it is a poor, because this is based on the number of microorganisms present into the milk. So, now we will take a review of what the clean milk production. The first thing is, it is very important to have a clean milk production, particularly for the welfare of the consumers and the export of the products also for the milk and milk products. The quality of the products will be very good. So, we have covered what, why and how of the clean milk production. What are the sources of milk contamination? Let us review the clean milk production. We studied the concept of clean milk production, what, why and how. What are the sources of milk contamination? That is from the udder, from the milker's hand and the pail. What are the factors affecting clean milk production, and what steps should be taken for the clean milk production. Now, we come to the milk processing aspect. Processing includes these operations: clarification, pasteurization, homogenization, sterilization, and preparation of designated milks are there. Primarily, it is pasteurization which is the heart of the processing of milk. So, we will take one by one. What is clarification is, that is when we remove the dust particles from this. That is an enhanced version of filtration by using the centrifugal force. Milk enters through a center pipe, through a rotating ball, and come to the outer edge of clarifier disc through a distributor, and then onto the spinning discs, where milk and dirt are separated. You can see the milk is coming inlet, then through the distributor, it is going through the clarifier disc. Milk is removed from the inside, and the solid particles are thrown back and are removed at intervals. Similarly, is the principle of separation, that you would take the milk, and we have the discs are there, and from discs we have the cream, which is lighter portion, which will come to the center part, and the skim milk, which is heavy, will come to the outer part. So, this is how we separate the milk, cream and skim milk, and it is used for the standardization of the milk is there. Now, the basic purpose of pasteurization is to make milk safe for the human consumption by destroying the pathogenic microorganisms present in it. Now, what are the pathogenic microorganisms? What we call them as an index microorganism. Mycobacterium tuberculosis and Coxiella burnetia, which causes the Q fever, are known as the index microorganisms. It also inactivates the deteriorating enzymes and spoilage bacteria, and ultimately it improves the keeping quality of the milk, and this is must for in the milk industry. So, as soon as we take the milk, we chill it and keep it, but we pasteurize the milk so that all the pathogenic microorganisms are killed and we have a safe and quality milk with us. What type of pasteurizers are used? There are two types of pasteurizers, what we call the batch holding, that is low temperature long time LT, where the temperature is 63 degrees centigrade for at least 30 minutes. And the second is high temperature short time HTST, which is a type of a continuous method. Milk is heated to 72 degrees centigrade for not less than 15 seconds. After this, milk is to be immediately cooled to 4 degrees centigrade and stored in a cold storage maintained at a 4 degrees centigrade. So, this is the complete, that is you heat the milk particle up to 72 degrees centigrade and time should not be less than 15 seconds and should be immediately chilled to the 4 degrees centigrade is there. This is a type of a diagram. You can see the milk is going inside. So, it will go to the heating media, then to the cooling media and then it will come out. And then we have also holding section where the milk is held for the 15 seconds is there. So, it is a continuous pasteurizer, we called it as a HTST pasteurizer is there. So, this is how the plate heat exchanger looks in a factory is there. Now, this is the flow diagram, that is you have the milk, it will go to the constant head tank, then with the product pump and flow controller, it will go to the regeneration section, then clarifier, then homogenizer, then heating section, holding section, and we have a flow diversion valve which checks it. If temperature is not properly, it sends back the milk to the constant head tank. You can see the dotted lines, the milk is going back to the constant head tank. Then we have a regeneration section, cooling section, and then we have the pasteurized product. So, this is a type of a flow diagram for preparation of the pasteurized milk is there, and it is done in the HTST pasteurizer. Most of the dairies have a nowadays HTS2 pasteurizer, high temperature short time plate pasteurizer we call it is there. So, flow diversion valve is very important. If milk is not properly heated for a proper temperature and time, it is returned back for reprocessing is there. So, this is the flow diagram. You can see raw milk, you receive the milk, preheat, then pre-filter it, then you have kept it, standardize it, homogenize it, homogenize 1, homogenize 2. Two stages are there, 2000 and 500 second stage. Then pasteurization, either 63 degrees centigrade or 72 degrees centigrade, followed by chilling. And the test for the pasteurized milk is phosphatase test. It should be negative, phosphatase test should be negative, and it is stipulated by the FFSI also. The next step is the homogenization. Homogenization means where the fat globules are broken down into smaller particles. You can see on the first top picture, the particles are bigger size, and in the down picture, the particles are size. It should be reduced less than 2 microns, and it is through a machine called a mechanical process, and the fat are reduced to up to 2 microns are there. Because of this, the fat layer does not form on the top of the on the milk. Then the sterilization process, it is a type of a sterilization process where we heat the milk up to 110 to 130 degrees centigrade, and to kill the particularly all the microbial activity, so that it is a sterilized. So, it is shelf life is around 6 months is there, and the objective is to destroy the microbial and enzyme activity, and the index organism is Clostridium botulinum is there. So, the process involved, we take the milk, put in a container and heat up in the range of 110 to 130 degrees centigrade for 10 to 30 minutes, and this is known as in container sterilization is there, and the product will be your 6 month time. The sterilized milk which you take into the bottles is an example of in container sterilization, and shelf life is 6 months is there. Similarly, the term is used for the UHT. UHT milk is a ultra high temperature. It is by heating milk in a continuous flow, temperature of range of 125 to 125 degrees centigrade for not less than 2 seconds, and it can be in range of 135 to 150 degrees centigrade. And in our country we use 140 degrees centigrade for 2 seconds, and the index organism is Bacillus stereotherma Affiliation is there. Now there are two types of plants: direct heating plant, which is infusion type and injection type, and indirect heating type includes plate heat exchanger, tubular heat exchanger, scrapped heat exchangers are there. The types of milk which you see into the market, these are the type of milks. Full cream milk, it should have fat 6% and SNF milk. Toned milk should have 3% fat and SNF 8.5. Double toned around fat 1.3%, SNF 9%. Mixed or standardized milk will have fat 4.5%, SNF 8.5%. Buffalo fat 5 and SNF 9. Cow fat is 3.2, SNF 8.3. Skim milk not more than 0.5% fat and SNF 8.7%. And flavored milk, it depends upon what type of milk you are using, whether you are using toned milk, double toned milk. So that standard is to be kept. So now we'll review this component which we have done. So we have studied the important processing operations, pasteurization, and the HTST is the main continuous method, and where we heat the milk for 72 degrees centigrade for 15 seconds and the milk is chilled to 4 degrees centigrade. Homogenization, then UHT process for 140 degrees centigrade for 2 seconds are there. So we also studied the what are the index organ microorganisms, what are the tests for the phosphatase, test for the efficiency of pasteurization. Similarly, we saw that what are the different types of milk are there and what are their fat and SNF standards. Now we will take the milk products. First we will take high fat dairy products. Under this, the important are 4 products are. First is cream. It is just like a milk but rich in fat, and we call as emulsion of fat in skim milk is there. So the fat could be in range of 15, 20 or 25. The next high fat product is butter, but then the emulsion is changed and the fat percentage is around 85% is there, but the emulsion is of water in oil is there. So like different from the milk and cream is there. Ghee is our one of the popular product, and it is known as the heat clarified butter fat. It has a characteristic cooked and acidic flavor with grainy texture is there. The moisture maximum should be 0.5 and milk fat should be 99.5% is there. Butter oil is the same like ghee only, but it is prepared under vacuum so that it does not have the cooked flavor or acidic flavor or grainy texture is there. Butter oil is used for the recombining the milk if we want to prepare it is there. So these are the high fat dairy products. Next we come to the cheese and fermented products. Cheese is basically concentration of constituents of milk, primarily casein, fat and insoluble salt together with water, in which small amount of soluble salt, lactose and albumin are formed. It is curd of milk separated from whey and pressed into solid mass. So it is a coagulation by rennet or similar enzyme in presence of lactic acid. So cheese, which is quite popular, like examples are cheddar, mozzarella. How do we prepare it? We take the milk and allow this acidity to grow, then we coagulate it by using rennet or similar enzyme is there, and then let it grow to mature it. So it's basically having the casein and the other components, but doesn't have the whey protein and lactose. So that concentrated mass is known as the cheese is there. There are a lot of variations are there in method of manufacture and those things. Then the next group is fermented dairy products. It's a fermentation of milk by lactic acid bacteria. Common example is our dahi is there, lassi or shrikhand, these are products. but they have lot of nutritional and therapeutical advantages. It is having a refreshing acid taste is there, which is liked by everyone. The example of the nutritional benefits of fermented products are they are easy to digest, better absorption of minerals will take place. Like when we mentioned, the milk has got good number of minerals, but if you take the dahi, the better absorption of minerals will take place. Decrease in the pH of stomach, it will reduce the risk of pathogens. Your gut will not have the pathogens will be there. The B complex vitamins, which is essential, it is produced by because of the fermented dairy products is there. The positive intestinal flora is there. Some of these microorganisms also have the anti-carcinogenic effect is there. Immune system is also becoming positive, lowers the serum cholesterol, and the problem of constipation is also added. That's why the fermented products are becoming quite popular, and they are more in demand is there because of the nutritional and therapeutical advantages associated. Then the indigenous dairy products, there are two groups are there. One is heat desiccated product, that is khoa, because we prepare a lot of sweets from khoa like barfi, peda, gulab jamun and kalakand is there. So it is by heating the milk continuously we get the khoa is there, and the standard is the total solid should be minimum 55%, the fat should be there. Similarly, the ash should be around 6%, and the titratable acidity should be 0.9% be there. Then the acid coagulated product is there, which is the paneer and chana are the examples, and the moisture should be 65% for the paneer, and for the chana is 60% is there. The milk fat should be on dry matter basis, 50% in both is there. Now paneer and chana, paneer is used for the mainly various food items like culinary items we call it as a, but chana is mainly used for the Bengali sweets from rasgulla, these type of sweets are prepared. Then other dairy products which are quite known, ice cream and frozen desserts. So these are, we prepare a mix and incorporate air so that we have a uniformity and consistency is there. Now there is a difference between ice cream and frozen desserts is there. In ice cream, all the milk solids are used, while the frozen desserts will contain fat and SNF from vegetable sources. So you should be very careful when you take a packet of ice cream or frozen dessert, whether what it is written. If it is ice cream, this means all the ingredients have come from the milk sources. But if the frozen dessert word is written, this means it may contain the vegetable fat or vegetable SNF. That's why the cost of frozen dessert is slightly less as compared to ice cream is there. So you should be careful. Similarly, we can have the dried and concentrated dairy products like powders are there, dairy whiteners are there, sweetened condensed milk are there. Similarly, the dairy byproducts are skim milk, whey, buttermilk, ghee residue. These are all the different dairy products are there. Then we come to the cleaning and sanitization. The cleaning and sanitization, there are two different terms are there. Cleaning is to remove the extraneous matter adhering to the equipment, and it is done with the suitable detergent and water is there. And sanitization is reducing the microorganisms to an acceptable level in terms of destruction of pathogens and minimizing the other microflora is there. So you can see that this picture show you. So when you clean free of the soil, but in sanitary it reduces the pathogens in the, and it make it sterile mean free of pathogens is there. Now cleaning process, first step is bringing the detergent solution to the close contact with the soil to be removed. So once they have come together, then dislocate the solid and liquid soil from the surface by sapnifying fat, peptonizing proteins and dissolving minerals. And then scattering soil and solvent by dispersion deflocculation, emulsification. And then last is preventing redeposition of dispersed soil back into clean surface by good resisting properties. Now, this is applicable in any of the things, even washing of your clothes or washing of utensils at your home or equipment in the dairy plant. Then we come to the sanitization, that is to remove the pathogens. Either we can use the live heat, steam or hot water, by chemical solutions, chlorine or chlorine based hypochlorite. Probably you must be remembering in the COVID time, we all were using chlorine and hypochlorite solution. Iodo-4, quaternary ammonium compound or ultraviolet rays could be also used. So, this will kill the pathogenic organisms. But first step is necessary, you clean the equipment, then sanitize it. So, sanitization will not affect until unless the equipment is clean. Now, how do you assess the effectiveness? By visual inspection, by drop test, by indicator test, pH test and this method. So, these are the different methods to assess the effectiveness of cleaning and sanitization. There is in most of the industries, we use the word CIP process, that is cleaning in place. What it means all the detergent solutions in a pattern wise go to the equipment rather than the equipment we wash it separately. So, we call it as a flushing, cleansing are done in a cleaning in a equipment itself in a designed cleaning pattern. So, the equipment is stand there and then we circulate the say first the soap solution, then hot water. So, it is a cleaning operations are performed on the container processing circuit one by one in the sequence is there. It saves that manpower, time and chemicals is there, and the effective factors are time, temperature and the physical action involved in the action is there. So, these are the tanks like we have a lye tank, acid tank, then fresh water. So, they will go to the equipment and then they will clean the equipment one by one. The first is like plain hot water, then lye, then acid, then fresh water is there. So, to conclude now what we have in the basic aspects of milk and milk product is, the first is a milk is a highly nutritious and almost complete food is there. And what it contains, it has lot of nutritional virtues and it contains nutrients like proteins, fat, lactose, vitamins and minerals, and they are beneficial for growth, energy and overall health is there. India is the largest milk producer globally with 230 million metric tons and 24% of the global production is there. It is very important that we have a clean milk production, and it is involved that milk should be drawn from healthy animal and hygienic practices are employed during the milking and storage it. It should be followed by chilling the milk to 4 degrees centigrade and preferably within 2 hours or 4 hours. The milk processing includes like steps like pasteurization, homogenization, sterilization and UHT. The milk product basket is quite wide, starting with the milk, different type of milks, flavored milk, fermented products, cheese, butter, ghee, khoa based sweets, and then whey proteins, these type of things are coming. But then the quality of will depend upon the how your equipment has been cleaned and sanitization. So, cleaning and sanitization is essential for maintaining the quality of milk and dairy products. So, thank you very much. Thank you.